All right, let's talk about a sugar that's hiding in plain sight. We're diving deep into fructose. You might know it as fruit sugar, but trust me, its story is way bigger and a whole lot more complicated than that.
So here's the big question right off the bat. Is all sugar created equal? I mean, we tend to lump it all into one category, right? Sugar is sugar. But you know what? The science tells a completely different story, especially when you look at how our bodies actually deal with it.
And the thing is, you're running into fructose all day, every day. Yeah, it's in the good stuff, like fruits and honey. But it's also a massive ingredient in industrial sweeteners. Think high fructose corn syrup. That makes it one of the most common sugars in our diets today, by far.
To really get why fructose is such a special case, we've got to go small. I mean, really small. We have to start at the molecular level with its unique chemical blueprint. Okay, so scientifically, fructose is what's called a ketose sugar. Now, don't worry about the term. All it really means is that its chemical structure, its actual shape, is built a little differently. This might sound like a tiny, nerdy detail, but believe me, it changes everything about how our body processes it. And this is where that difference becomes crystal clear. Think of glucose. That's our body's main fuel, right? It's the universal energy source that almost every single cell in your body can use. But fructose? Because of its unique ketose structure, it can't do that. It gets sent on a completely different path, a whole other metabolic journey.
So where does that special journey lead? Well, you can think of it as a one-way ticket on the liver's express lane.
This is probably the most important point to understand. While glucose gets sent out all over the body to fuel everything, fructose makes a beeline for one single destination, your liver. The liver has to process pretty much all of it. That puts a huge, unique burden on this one organ. So what happens when it gets to the liver? Well, fructose basically gets to cut the line. It completely bypasses the normal checks and balances our body has in place for sugar. And because it's on this unregulated express lane, it's incredibly easy for the liver to turn it into fat. That process is called lipogenesis. And when you have too much fructose coming in, well, that fat starts to build up. And this is where the story takes a turn. That unique metabolic pathway is exactly why a simple sugar can, when we eat too much of it, become a pretty significant health risk. Research from universities has really connected the dots here. That fat creation process in the liver, it can lead to higher levels of triglycerides in your blood. It can contribute to insulin resistance, which is a major step towards type 2 diabetes. And it's been linked to bigger issues like obesity and even cardiovascular disease. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The scientific consensus, based on tons of clinical research, is really clear. The evidence is just overwhelming, and it all points to the same thing. We should limit how much fructose we take in because of these health risks. The key word is moderation. In fact, the weight of all this evidence has been so powerful that it's led to a global call to action from some of the world's biggest health organizations.
The World Health Organization even put a number on it. Less than 10%. They recommend that free sugars, which includes all that added fructose, should make up less than 10% of your total daily energy intake. It's a really clear, simple target for all of us.
And why are they recommending this? Their official reason is pretty direct. They say it's to prevent what are called non-communicable diseases. We're talking about the big ones, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, some of the leading causes of death around the world.
So to make this happen, the WHO is pushing for real, concrete policies. Things like food labels that are actually easy to understand, so you know what you're eating. Putting taxes on sugary drinks to make them less appealing. And of course, launching public education campaigns just to get the word out.
So let's wrap this all up. The takeaway is pretty straightforward. Fructose is not just another sugar. Its unique chemical makeup sends it down a special path, straight to the liver. And if we overdo it, that can cause health problems. The science is clear. We need to consume it in moderation. And that really leaves us with one final thought. We've gone from a single, tiny molecule all the way to global health policy. So the real question is for you. Now that you know the science behind fructose, how is that going to change the way you read your next food label? Thanks for tuning in to this explainer.